Is getting the job that you want in real estate easy? No. But can you get into real estate easy? Yes. Do you need to be strategic on how you go about getting into real estate? Yes. Should you do research before you get into real estate? I mean, who really cares? Just get in there. But anybody can be successful at it, but you have to put in the time and the energy, and you'll be able to make something of it. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to be talking about how did I get into the real estate field. Because if you know the tea, you know. I'm kidding, you guys probably don't know. But I'm going to tell you guys how I got into the real estate industry and how you can do it too. So, starting off, again, like I just said, my name is Jazzy. And I actually grew up in the real estate industry. My mother's been in real estate for like 40 years and we're gonna go from there. So when I was like 7 years old, okay, we're gonna go back to the go back. We're gonna get back to the get back. So when I was like very little, like a baby, I mean like 3 years old, 4 years old, my mother and my grandfather and my dad, they had me sweeping apartments, like chipping in, because we own like real estate. So it didn't matter how old I was, but I was sure responsible for sweeping, moving stuff, you know, like cleaning out, like just doing my part. I understood the idea of what tenants were. I understood what a mortgage was at a very young age, the responsibility of being a landlord. So I understood the fundamentals of residential real estate from a very young age. As I grew up, I was like, wait, whoa, you can make money in this. Let me like just dive a little deeper and like see what my mother's really doing. So in middle school, I was tired of going to the YMCA after school. I would go to my mom's job and just sit there and do my homework, and I would like help her, like flyers. She taught first time home buyers classes in groups of people. This is probably weekly, bi-weekly, I don't know. But I would go and I would sit in, I would set up the chairs for her, all that stuff. I understood the idea of how to buy a house at a young age, and also like how do you fix your credit. I was like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, but I never knew in my life that I would actually become a real estate agent. I never knew that. I was like, ooh, there might be money in this. Well, I knew there was money in this because my mom had a whole job in this. Started working with my mom. I would do all the legal things that I could, quote unquote, whatever, however you want to say it. Started with her files. I would always file her stuff correctly. I would print things out for her, set up for her classes. I would do everything kind of behind the computer for her. So that's how it started out. And then there was a point where she had to get a hip replacement, and we didn't realize it was a hip replacement. So she was sick for a period of time, and blah, 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 blah. I became more involved, and I started to understand the why behind the what. Because a lot of the times I was just doing it, but then there came a point where I had to start using my common sense and understand why. And this is around the time, I would say, I think this was after I was a freshman. It was like, I think it was a year when I was a freshman in college to like for real work. Like I need to get paid. And don't get me wrong, she was paying me. Like she was definitely paying me. I wasn't paying taxes on any of the money that because she just would give me money. I was like, I need to really understand this process of how to buy a house. Like I really need to get to nitty gritty. So I dabbled and dabbled, you know, I did a few deals with her as legal, how was as far as I could go legally, whatever. I decided I was going to get my real estate license. In the interim of me deciding to get my real estate license, I realized that at the job that I was working at, I was like a supervisor at a nonprofit. So I realized, okay, I got to make more money. And the more money is the coin is in the real estate. So I decided I was going to get my real estate license. In the interim of that, I was looking for a job that would correlate in real estate, like so it can all come together. I was like, okay, I'm going to become a property manager because I can write down I have 8 years of real estate experience. Woohoo. And then I can also put, and I forgot to mention, there was a deal that was done back, I think there was a deal that was done in 2018, and I helped in on that deal, and the buyer ended up loving me. He ended up hiring me as his property manager, and I worked for him for 2 years until I had to quit because I got too busy. And I quit like right before COVID, thank God, because you know nobody was trying to pay rent during COVID. So I had experience for 8 years of my mother's real estate company. Then I had 2 years experience as a property manager, and then I had experience as a supervisor. And I was like, ooh, I can get a job. So I'm like looking for jobs in the real estate field. So I wanted to be a property manager because they make the coin. They make the coin. And they was not trying to hire me. They was not trying to hire your girl. They was not trying to hire me. So I was like, all right, let me just get this real estate license and then I'll go from there. So I got my real estate license, and you know, that was a whole process in itself. I was broke. I quit my job without having my real estate license, getting my real estate license. And that was a lesson learned, but we're not even talking about that. Got my real estate license. Now I have something under my belt. And at this time, this was April. So I was trying to just make the money. But right before I got my real estate license in February, I was looking for a part-time job. I was hired for the team I'm on now to be the transactional coordinator, which is basically the person that holds the relationships with the clients and just kind of pushes the deal through. But I don't know, I ended up being the inside sales associate, so I would talk to clients on the phone, cold call, blah, 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 get the current leads or clients updated information from the agents, and I would do stuff like that. That was where I was at in February. I got my license in April, and then I think I quit doing the inside sales associate job May under Coldwell Banker. That was because when I got my license in April, we were under Coldwell Banker. That gave me some more experience, and now we moved from Coldwell Banker to Berkshire Hathaway. So then that gave me another thing to put on my resume. So in the interim of, I would say like less than a year, I became an agent. I was an inside sales associate, and I worked for 2 real estate firms. That in itself, on top of being a property manager for 2 years and being a real estate assistant for 8 years, that kind of put me in a bubble of, okay girl, you got some experience. And this is how I was able to get the property manager job that I have now. So let's say you want to jump into real estate. You have no idea what you want to do, how you want to do it, why you want to do it, So this is what we're going to do for you. So you're going to sit down and you're going to think, let's say you just want to get in the field, right? Because sometimes you really don't know if this is a job or if this is a field that you want to get into. So I suggest that you intern or get a job at a base level job. So the inside sales associate job, that job was great because I didn't really have to attach myself to anything. I just came in, I did the work, and I left. And it was bi-weekly pay. So when you're on hourly pay, you're able to kind of, you don't have to focus all your energy and your dedication to real estate, because most of the jobs in real estate, I don't want to say the most, but a lot of the jobs are sales. Like, you get paid commission. So my suggestion to you is you coming in straight off the bat, get a job, let it be consistent pay. You're most likely not going to get benefits for that job, and it depends on what it is, but typically you don't really get benefits. Work at that job, learn whatever you can learn from it, and then your goal is to move up. Not necessarily, you don't need to stay where you're at, but just move up. You want to move out and move up, so you're able to figure out how other real estate companies work. Whatever, I don't know, what depends on what you want to do. Make sure that you're looking at all of your options and not just what's in front of you. I don't know what the word is, but you want to make sure, you want to make sure that your resume doesn't just have one company on it. You want to make sure that you've worked for multiple, because each company clearly does things differently. You're able to pick up certain skills from certain companies, and that just, it makes sense. Like, if you don't stay at the same company, don't stay there forever. Let's say you want to be a property manager like me. 3 years ago, I was not in a position to become a property manager. I had to go in and figure out, look on Indeed and look on Recruiter and all them websites, and see what job do I want and what are the criteria that I'm missing. So typically in real estate, for property management, they want you to have licensings, or they want you to have your real estate license. They also want you to be in real estate for at least 5 to 6 years. They want you to know how to use property management systems. They want you, like, there's so many different things that they want you to have. And if you don't have those qualities and you're noticing that most of the things want that, you have to go obtain that. So you want to get a job that is able to pinpoint those needs, but just you're at a lower level. So let's say the job that you want is property management. Maybe you want to be the assistant manager to the property manager, or you want to just be I don't know, like the intern, like, you know what I mean, like something that's underneath the job that you actually want, so you're able to say, oh, okay, I didn't directly work with Yardi, that's a property management system, but you can say I did have to deal with a lot of the daily tasks on Yardi, but it was solely not my responsibility to keep up with the Yardi, or you know what I mean. Is getting the job that you want in real estate easy? No. But can you get into real estate easy? Yes. Do you need to be strategic on how you go about getting into real estate? Yes. Should you do research before you get into real estate? I mean, who really cares? Just get in there. But anybody can be successful at it, but you have to put in the time and the energy, and you'll be able to make something of it. But don't expect just to take whatever background you have now. It doesn't matter if you have a PhD, if you have a master's degree, if it's not in the field, real estate is cutthroat. And these people, these clients, commercial real estate, residential real estate, like these people crazy, these tenants crazy. If you don't have experience, customer service, if you don't know what you're talking about and you don't know how to deal with people and you haven't been in that field, they're not gonna mess with you. At the end of the day, people in real estate, their income is based on the service of their clients and being able to get the job done. I hope you guys liked. If you have any more questions specifically on how to get into the real estate industry, if it's specific to property management, being a real estate agent, all that stuff, just put it down below if you guys have questions, because I would love to answer. And I'll be back for more. I hope you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.